Hey guys, welcome to Kitcast. It's our new vlog that we're going to do either fortnightly or monthly, based around the hottest topics in football. How it's going to work is you guys send in your questions either on the Twitter or the Facebook app, and then in our expert opinions we try and answer them. Yeah, we'll just get straight into it. We've been thinking about the January transfer window this month. It's been a pretty good window actually.
Yeah, first of all, who are you?
Oh, yeah, sorry guys. I'm Robbie, if you don't know me. I've been at Kick for about 3.5 years now, based at St Michael's School, and I also do some work in St Michael's Church as well.
Yeah, I'm Andy. I think I'm one of the longest lasting coaches at Kick London. And obviously you probably see me putting out pelters and a bit of debate on the Facebook group. And yeah,
never shy away from
confrontation. I'm definitely going to upset Arsenal fans today, so you've got that to look forward to. So yeah, has it been a good window? Yeah, drama. It's been a lot of drama.
I think it has. The January one is always just seems a bit boring. Everyone seems to be waiting for the summer. But then I think the big one, which everyone has been asking about, is the Alexis Sanchez to United, how well have Arsenal done, and then the whole transfer triangle with the Mkhitaryan.
Okay, so let's put it out there. Who do you think got the better deal? Arsenal or Man United?
I think Arsenal. Genuinely, I'm just going to defend you guys for a bit before Andy starts laying into you. I think Arsenal have done well. Sanchez didn't want to be there. He was a horrible, had a horrible attitude. He had a detrimental effect on the whole squad. Getting rid of him, replacing him with someone who wants to play in Mkhitaryan, and also bringing in Aubameyang. We don't know if he's going to score goals in the Prem, but he's got previous of scoring goals in the Champions League. And
I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think it's been built up as Aubameyang is this world-class talent, and actually we don't know if he's a world-class talent. And I think he brings baggage with him. The reason he was desperate to get out of Dortmund was because of a falling out, and how long before he gets disillusioned with life at Arsenal. I mean, I think the pro of this is Mkhitaryan and him have linked together at Borussia Dortmund. It worked. Could it work in the Premier League? You kind of hope so. But actually, the biggest issue around this is Wenger.
Yeah.
So if you look at Lacazette, that's not necessarily worked out.
But Lacazette's a good player.
Yeah, so if he's a good player, then why is he wasting away at Arsenal? I mean, Arsenal fans might come back in the comments and they might say, but he's not wasting away, look at these stats. But has Lacazette done what we expected him to do? And by the same token, where does then Aubameyang fit into that? Because I don't see them working as a front two.
But they could. I'm defending Arsenal here, and I don't really want to be, because they could work as a front two. We know that Aubameyang is the type of player who wants to get in behind, and we know Lacazette wants to do that as well. But in Mkhitaryan and in Ozil, they've got two world-class ball players.
They've also got two players at exactly the same time. Now, it was really funny, when the transfer went through, I was like, Mkhitaryan's a really good signing if they're planning on getting rid of Ozil. But then obviously he signed the contract extension. And I think Arsenal fans should be really happy about that. That is like a new signing. I'm willing to give them that. But then in the same breath, you have got two players doing exactly the same thing in midfield and two players doing exactly the same thing up front. And actually, what they have done is they've eliminated their plan B, which is lump it to the big man up front, because they've just sold him to Chelsea.
So do you think then that out of Dortmund, Arsenal, Chelsea have got the best deal?
Oh no, absolutely not. I actually think Chelsea have been hilarious this window. I mean,
it's been great to watch. Andy Carroll and Peter Crouch. So
yeah,
Chelsea.
And then there was another one as well. I mean, literally, I really thought they were going to start looking at Akinfenwa.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Chelsea were just looking for someone big to lump it up to.
Called John Hartson out for a time.
Yeah, oh well, yeah, he could still do a job. He'd do a job at West Ham. I would have been more happy if we had signed John Hartson yesterday than. Well, we sold. I can't. Anyway, that's a different blog. I honestly think that Giroud is a good player, but he's going to do the same thing that Chelsea did at Arsenal. He's just going to sit on the bench. Morata is number one there. It's just a really interesting plan B system. I can see what Conte's doing. I get it.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
It's not like Morata is bad with his head. Because so many of his Premier League goals that he scored this season have been headers. It's been the Azpilicueta ball into the box, Morata scores it. So surely they needed someone completely different. Because I know Morata's only been here for 6 months. He started amazingly, and then he's kind of drifted off a bit. But he's still got loads to offer, and we know that he's good in the air. So surely they want a pacey player.
But this is the thing. Morata never came in as like this massive target man. He can score goals with his head, but I don't actually believe that that's him as a player. And I think in watching him, he's kind of been converted into that, but I don't necessarily think that he is a target man. Yeah. But it seems that Conte loves this one up top, and the irony of it is as well is they don't have wingers who cross. They have wingers who dribble and create, and look, don't get me wrong, in terms of attack, I love what Chelsea do, and I think that Hazard on his day, unplayable. I actually love Willian as a player.
Yeah.
And Pedro, severely underrated and coming over to England and proving what he could do. But I just don't get them. I don't understand what it is they're trying to do. And the madness of this is that actually if Arsenal had a Lacazette and Giroud and actually Chelsea had a Morata and an Aubameyang, they're two different options and can actually play together. So that's why I don't really get the transfer dealings. Let me ask you, do you think Man United have got a good deal in Sanchez?
I think I have to be careful here because I'm hugely anti-United in everything that I say. So I'm going to try and be...
No, go with it, go with it. I want anti.
Okay. From Sanchez's point of view, I think he's made a massive mistake. I think he's gone to a club where they're probably not going to win anything this season. The manager plays negative football, and as shown last night, the manager doesn't even know where he wants to play. He started out on the left, then he went to centre forward or just behind Lukaku, and no one quite knew what he was supposed to do. And if Sanchez turns around and says, "I've gone to United for the trophies because they're a massive club," yes, they're a massive club, but if you're moving for the trophies, you go to City because they're nailed on for the Premier League title. There's talk of them winning the quadruple, which I think is absolute rubbish, but like they're that good. So surely if you wanted to go for trophies, you would have gone to City.
Yeah.
From United's point of view, I think they have done well because Sanchez is a good player.
But are Man United not building towards that? I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and obviously they've gone through this transition period. Are they not just setting themselves up to put themselves in the best position to challenge City next year?
But you say Rome wasn't built in the day, but it's not like Sanchez is the first signing because they've got Pogba, who, even though he's shown absolute brilliance at times, he's underperformed for an £89 million signing. They've bought a £75 million player in Lukaku, who actually makes their team worse. They play worse when Lukaku's on the pitch, and they're building this squad. But Mourinho doesn't know what he's building to, and this is where I think City, although the money that they're spending is ludicrous, and the fact that they've got 5 of the 6 most expensive defenders of all time says a huge amount. But at least Pep is buying players that fit his system.
I actually think you're being so generous with Man United. And I think you've touched on a point there. I think the first thing is it's the same thing as Arsenal. The manager is wrong. Mourinho is not going to take Man United to the next level because he's far too negative. He's never... Look, he's won things, but I don't know. He's almost adapted his management style and he hasn't got that cutthroat edge anymore. He would rather take the point than go for the jugular. And actually, I think they're almost buying this kind of wealth of options in all the same places. Yeah. You've got a team here that's got Martial, who for me should be a striker. He's not a winger. Yeah. Rashford, who should be a striker. He's not a winger. Lukaku. Then you've got Zlatan to come back. Now, I think this is sensible in some regards because they lost Zlatan to that injury. They knew they weren't going to have him. And so therefore they needed to replace 20 goals. And Lukaku did make sense and does make sense. He is a terrifying proposition, and again, as a West Ham fan, he always scores against us, so I'm not going to bag the bloke. But then that is part of the problem. He scores goals against inferior teams, and he doesn't take it to that level. He doesn't take it to a Man City. He doesn't take it to a Chelsea.
But that's it. If you're paying £75 million for a striker, you're paying for someone to get you out get you out of it when you're backed up against the ropes and you need someone to turn around and score 2 goals, like players like Hazard do, Aguero do.
Players like Sanchez. So I get that, but what I don't get is this glaring omission of the fact that Man United need a centre mid, like a good centre mid, actually like a grafter in there, and like they seem to have fallen out of love with Ander Herrera. Matic, since he signed, has done. I don't know. Has he just disappeared off the radar?
The thing is with Matic last night, it's last night playing Tottenham. Matic was hugely at fault for a lot, but that was because he was one man. Because Pogba had swanned off upfield, and Mourinho still hasn't found where Pogba fits into this team. So he's signed this player who is undoubtedly world class because we've seen glimpses of it, and we saw him doing it at Juventus. Yet Mourinho doesn't know where he fits into the team, so he's making signings out of big name, loads of money, stop other people signing him. But he's not building anything. He's just getting an assortment of one-man teams who can't play together. None of them quite know what they're doing. And you saw it last night against Tottenham. They set up in a certain way and conceded a goal after 11 seconds. And after that, they just didn't know what they were doing. Because they suddenly turned around and gone, well, our game plan here was to sit back, absorb the pressure, try and catch them on the break. But now suddenly we've got to take the game to Spurs.
Well, losing a goal in 11 seconds will do that to you.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're basically saying Man United are making glorious failures, which is great.
Absolutely.
Talking of glorious failures, let's talk about England. World Cup this summer, and it looks like there are certain players pushing for that England squad. Let's start talking about Theo Walcott and Daniel Sturridge. Are they on the plane?
Theo Walcott, it made me so happy. It made me so happy that he scored 2 goals. I think he's somehow still in my head. He's 17 years old and he's just going to improve into this incredible player. But he's not, and his time had come at Arsenal. He wasn't getting in the starting 11, and I think a move to somewhere like Everton, where actually they don't have any wide men. I know Bolassi's coming back from injury and he's a brilliant player, but they're a team of attacking midfielders, and actually to have someone like Walcott who's just gonna run up and down, we still know he's still got all that pace, and I just think it's a brilliant signing. I think Sturridge is an interesting one.
Will he play?
Well, you saw last night they played Rondon. I don't know if that was because Sturridge had just arrived. They wanted to bed him in a bit.
Or more to the point, is he fit? Or more to the point, is he ever fit?
He's never fit.
Yeah. That's the deal for me.
I think it's interesting to see players move to the World Cup, because Hart did it to West Ham, and
it's not worked out.
As a West Ham fan, you must know what that is.
I think the thing for me with that is there was a lot of talk at the back end of the transfer window saying he wanted to cancel his loan and he wanted to move somewhere else. And I think the thing for me was, okay, that would, as a West Ham fan, that would screw us over a little bit, purely on the basis that we need a spare keeper. But come the end of the season, I don't think anyone's going to be biting any hands off for Joe Hart to stay. And I think what that leads to is it doesn't matter whether he plays at West Ham and he's on the bench or moves to Newcastle. In fact, in some ways, we might have been better off letting him go to a Newcastle or wherever he wanted to go and let him ruin their season. Because you have to say, since David Moyes has come in and dropped Joe Hart, results have improved. And I never realised quite how bad Joe Hart was or the weaknesses in his game until he came and I got to watch him every week, and it is that bad.
And a lot of players do that, move to West Ham and just fall off the edge of a cliff.
And I would agree with that as well. And I think if we'd got Daniel Sturridge, it wouldn't have shocked me if he had come in, got injured in the first week, and we wouldn't have seen him again. But in terms of these players making moves to get in the England squad, I mean, go for it. But I don't know, I just think you look at someone like Walcott, are there better wingers in the England setup than him? Dare I say, Oxlade-Chamberlain's having a better season, although he has aspirations to play through the middle. I think we've got more dangerous, more exciting wingers. I mean, Raheem Sterling's having a season of his life. The problem for me is, as we talk about England, is England players never turn up in an England shirt. No. So when we get to the World Cup this summer, is Harry Kane going to...
Final thing, who has won the transfer window? One club. Who's done best for you?
The team that I feel have made the most moves to improve their squad is Swansea. And I think, I know that's come well out of left field, hasn't it? But on last night they signed Andre Ayew, who is going back to a club where he scored goals. As a West Ham fan, am I upset about that? Look, he hasn't done a lot for West Ham. He's scored some goals, but on the whole, performed. Like I was watching him the other day, and I turned to my brother and I said to him, "What is Andre Ayew? He's not a winger. No. He's not a striker. No. He's not tall. He's not strong. He's not quick. What does he do?" Now, obviously, he obviously had a good time at Swansea, so sweet. We'll take the 18 million. You take Andre Ayew. But they also got Andy King in late. I think they made a couple of other fairly good signings, and their form's turned around. Obviously, they gave Arsenal a bit of a show on Tuesday night, so it'll be interesting to see them get out of it. I think they might have enough now. But I'll throw it back to you. Yeah. Best transfer window for you?
Well, since we haven't spoken about it yet, biggest transfer of the window for me was Anton Walkes going on loan from Tottenham. Anton Walkes, he's made one appearance for Tottenham in the League Cup.
Okay.
He's made a loan move to Portsmouth, so he's no doubt going to be terrible, because otherwise he wouldn't have gone to Portsmouth. I think I'm gonna say Everton. I think having Walcott, mixing up that team, they've got a young team. He's a bit of an experienced head. I think he could, if he turns up, he could change their style of play.
We're now going to move into a bit of a feature. We're going to play a game called 20 Questions. You can play along at home. So I have got a footballer in my mind. This footballer will be in modern consciousness. However, Robbie has got 20 questions to ask me to find out who this player is. I will answer only with yes or no, and every 5 questions I will give Robbie a clue. Robbie has to get this player by question 20, otherwise I will show a picture of this player to him, and then Robbie can shout out whether he would have got it or not.
Okay.
So, I've got the player in mind, I've got 3 clues and the picture. You can ask your first question.
I can't remember if you said he was in the Premier League, so was he a Premier League player?
Yes.
Is he European?
Yes.
Did he ever win any major club trophies?
No.
Did he ever win any major international trophies?
No.
Was he an attacking player?
No.
Okay, that's my fault.
I will give you your first clue. This player has scored in an FA Cup final.
Okay. And he's not an attacking player. And so he never won any major club trophies, so he can't have scored a winner in an FA Cup final. Okay. Did he play in the Premier League in the last 5 years? Close. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Is he still playing now?
Yes.
Oh, I should have said, is he still playing now in the Premier League? Is he still playing now in the Premier League?
No.
What a waste of a question.
That's 13.
It's not 13, it's 8.
Sorry, that's 8. That's 8. A panic.
I was like, there's no way I'm this far. Okay, so he's not really a keeper because he won't have scored in the FA Cup. I'm all over the place here. Is he English?
Yes.
Is he a centre mid?
No. Right, that's taken you to 10. I'm going to give you your next clue. He has played for the London clubs Charlton, Tottenham, West Ham, Fulham and Queen's Park Rangers.
Say that again. Charlton,
Tottenham, West Ham, Fulham, Queen's Park Rangers.
He's a defender. So he's got to be a defender because he's not an attacking player and he's not a midfield and he's not a centre mid. Okay.
You're on question 10.
I'm on question 10. Okay, come on. Did he ever play for England?
Yes.
Did he ever play for England at a major tournament?
No.
Oh, what?
That's 12. There are people at home shouting at their computer screens.
Is Oh my goodness me. Charlton, Tottenham. I can't think of any questions. This is terrible. Played for England. Did he play for England? No, that's a stupid question. Did he have over 100 Premier League caps?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a lot of appearances. Yes, he definitely did.
Right, I need to narrow this down. Is he a centre back?
No.
Okay, so he's a full back. I've just got this player in my head. Is it Paul Konchesky?
It is Paul Konchesky!
Oh no,
it is Paul Konchesky. Fair play, you've eliminated it down. If you guys at home got that quicker than Robbie, please let us know in the comments. We are looking to do our next episode in 2 weeks' time around the Champions League. So if you guys at home have questions for us, maybe even questions around what we do at Kick, and also like any questions following on from things we've said, we're expecting pelters, particularly the Arsenal and Man United fans aren't going to enjoy what we've said today. We would love to hear your feedback. Robbie, anything else from you?
I think that's all. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. We will see you on the next edition of Kickcast.